I placed a link in the description if you want to get your own wireless Wi-Fi camera. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what you get inside of this box when you buy one of these cameras. Then we'll take it out to the car and install it and see how well it performs. The camera arrives well packaged in this foam padding, and you get a simple instruction manual. Now, there's not a lot of need for the manual because all we have to do is download the app and connect to this camera. Now, this camera does work both with Android devices and with Apple devices. Okay, let's put this aside. And here's the camera, and also we get a power cable. Now, the power cable is going to be used for us to recharge this camera. This camera uses rechargeable lithium batteries, so that's pretty cool. And you also get this Velcro, and we'll put this aside for now. We'll take the camera out. Oh wow, it's a nice weight to it. Now, the camera does have the little camera in here surrounded by infrared lights, and those infrared lights are great for night vision, so we're able to see at night. We can also turn the camera on with this button, and we can have a little LED here for indicating if this is fully charged or if the camera is on or off. The camera can also be tilted. We can go this way, and we can also lock down the tilting at the position that we desire. Now, on the back of it, there is a little plug on here, and that little plug is for us to connect the charge cable to. Now, the cable can be simply connected to any type of USB type charger, and it should charge the camera up. Now, it does have this little cap because this camera is waterproof, rated to be waterproof. So once you are done charging it, definitely make sure you close this nice and tight to ensure that no water is going to get out there in your camera. Now, another neat thing that I noticed is how the battery can actually be removed. This is good for two reasons. Eventually, the battery in here will wear out. And when it wears out, if this is built in, entirely sealed off, that's it. You have to throw this camera away. Because the camera battery is removable, we can remove the battery, install another battery, and this camera should last for a long time. The second reason why it's good to have a removable battery is for the environment. If we're going to throw this camera away at the end of its use, then we can remove the battery and take that to a recycling center. You'll also notice that there's some serialization. I love when they have serialization because, again, that keeps track of product and quality and warranty purposes. On the base of the Wi-Fi camera, there are two large magnets that are hidden by this black texture, and I was actually testing how strong these magnets are. And it's pretty strong, so we can mount this. Oh yeah, this is very strong. We can mount this camera on a location made out of metal, or we can also mount it using the included Velcro tape. The Velcro tape has adhesive tape, so we would pull this off and stick to where we want this to, stick this in the bottom, and then the camera can be placed and be removed on or off fairly easy because of the Velcro. But I think most people are gonna use it with the magnetic mount. Now, what are the main applications for this camera? Well, this can be used for anybody who has a trailer and does not have good visibility and wants to be able to see when they're backing up. We can mount this on the back of our trailer, just sticks to it, and then we can open up the app and we can see as we back up. The other application that I can think of to use for this camera is to install it in the garage, somewhere towards the front, especially if you have a very narrow place where you're parking your car into. If you put this in, let's say monitoring the front of your car, you're gonna be able to tell how close you are before you hit something. So that's a good idea to use this for guiding your car into a tight space. And the third application that I can think of is you can use this to monitor an area temporarily. You might not want to install a camera there permanently, but let's say I just wanted to monitor something that I left in the yard. I can stand this up and I can monitor that from the comfort of my home. Okay, so now that we've seen the camera, let's go install it and see how well it performs. And here it is, the MHCABSR wireless backup camera. Again, this camera is really meant for you to be using trailers and anything that you are hauling that you may not have a good visibility on. But I thought I could demo it on this car that does not have a backup camera. As you can see, I have loaded the app into an iPad so we can get a better view as opposed to loading it on a small phone. But if you load it on your phone, that's going to be the most common way you're going to do it. You could probably have your phone in a cradle, and then you can be looking at the phone as you're backing up. And there's a couple interesting options. But before I show you I want to show you the quality. This is daylight, and I'm going to begin to back up right here. And it actually feels quite unusual to do this because I'm not used to having a backup camera on this vehicle, and the vehicle actually has heavy tint. So for me to be able to back up and see in real time what I'm doing, it's really cool. And I didn't have to run any wires to install any camera. I literally just stuck it to the back of the vehicle. Okay, we're gonna come to a stop right here. Okay, now what about reverse parking guidelines? Yes, this also has parking guidelines, and you can turn them on and off. Some people prefer them, some people don't really use them. Here's the parking guidelines, and what you want to do is you want to get somebody out there and tell you how close you are to things. So for example, let's look at the fire right here, this little fire hydrant. As I get closer to it, if I want to estimate that this is right about where I'm about to hit it, I will have somebody on the outside and tell me, yep, you're about to hit it. And then I will know that when I get to this line, then that's when I have to stop. However, if they say, you have a lot more space, man, keep going, I'm gonna keep backing up and I say, wait, stop. So then I know that, okay, up to the third line, that's the closest I can be. So that's the way you use those parking reverse guidelines. Very helpful. The other nice thing about this, I noticed, is that you can actually take a picture with it, and that actually got saved into the memory of your phone. So if you are, this is not meant to be used as a dash cam, but if you were to see something interesting, you could save a picture of it. And one of the other options that this does have, which is built into the Safety Eye app, is the ability to flip the image. So right now, when I'm backing up, the post is on my right hand side, which is the way it will look if I'm looking through a mirror. However, if for some reason I wanted to flip it, I can flip the image. I'm gonna flip this back again, and let's do a little bit of more backing up. Now I'm gonna try to back up a little bit closer to a vehicle that's over here, and let's see how close we can get to it. And it's actually my neighbor's vehicle, so it'll be funny to see his reaction as I back up into his vehicle, because he knows I don't have a backup camera on this car. Oh jeez, that is really close. And actually I have quite a bit of space, but if I were to be using the parking guidelines, I will know, okay, even halfway, I still have a tremendous amount of space. Okay, let's go forward so I don't block him. Now the camera does have a certain range. Right now I'm inside of a car, but it is really meant to transmit images all the way up as far as a trailer hitch behind you. So it does have a range of about approximately 30 feet or so. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna see how long it takes before the distance, we lose the signal. The other thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you what it looks like at night. So let's first do the signal test. Okay, I am now walking back, and the camera is mounted on the car, and I can actually see myself walking away. There I am. So we still have good signal, and I am now probably exceeding the maximum distance. I'm probably more than 30 feet. Make sure I don't trip over anything. Whew, that's a lot of range. So the camera is still transmitting, and I am now probably about half a block away from the car. There's the car. Okay, and we still have a good signal. Now the signal obviously will be affected by things like blocking. If there was something in the middle, could potentially reduce the distance, but this will be enough for most cars. Definitely will be enough for you to mount it on your trailer hitch. All right, let's move over to the night and see how good the quality is at night. All right, so now it's night, and let's see, we're gonna back up and let's see how it looks. Nice, very neat. So there's definitely enough light for us to be able to back up at night. Now there are also some infrared LEDs, as we saw earlier during the unboxing, and those infrared LEDs are not gonna light up your entire way, but they're gonna further give you visibility and clarity at night. So here we can see those infrared LEDs in action. And if you go outside, you cannot see that we're lighting up the road. But what you see right here, this is all infrared, invisible to the human eye, but is visible to the camera. And here's an example of the other application that I mentioned. And that is, if I place the camera here, facing this way, as I'm driving in, I'm gonna be able to tell how much space I have here and be able to get really close to this area without hitting anything. Now, why is that helpful? If you have a very narrow garage and you're trying to make the most of the space that you have and you want to make sure you don't damage your car, this as a parking assistance will be very, very helpful. Well, that completes this product review, guys. If you guys are interested in looking further at the camera, remember I placed a link in the description for you. Also, if you guys have any questions or comments about the camera, also put them down in the comments below. And if you found any part of this video helpful, please support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe. I have a lot more reviews like this coming up. And thank you guys for watching, as always, and I'll see you on the next one.